Hi everybody, it's Andrew Hutchins here with you tonight, and this video is about, not a doctor, not giving medical advice, just consolidating information, putting it in one place, along with my opinion sometimes. So don't think that I'm giving medical advice. This video is about, do steroids make you big, huge? Do they make you gain a lot of muscle, like I have? Hopefully you think I'm on steroids, because I do want to get to that point where everybody thinks I'm on steroids, because that would be a nice compliment. But would steroids actually make you like me or bigger? Because I know that even though I'm in good shape, I need to lose some weight, but even though I'm in good shape for the most part, I'm not the hugest person out there. But would steroids make you like me, or like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or like Lee Priest, or any of these people that are bigger than you? The short answer, maybe. It depends on your genetics. The long answer is that some people, so there's many different types of people. You have people like me who, even though I think I have above average genetics for muscle, I really don't think that I have the greatest genetics for muscle. I have pretty good genetics for strength, I think. But for muscle, I just have like a little bit above average, maybe. Like, I'm a pretty small guy. Like, I look not so small because I've put a lot of muscle on myself. But I'm looking around to see if I find any old pictures. And it's hard to actually see that I'm such a small person because I started working out so young. So you can't really go back and go, oh, look how skinny he was. But like, my wrists are super small. My hands are super small. My feet are super small. Like, I'm not a big person. And my body's not meant to have a lot of muscle. I have forced it to have a lot of muscle. So you get people like me who, a little bit above average genetics for muscles, maybe, or just average, but you work really hard and you respond pretty well to working out. You work out hard and your body puts on more muscle. Now, maybe it's hard to put it on, but it's still, you're able to put it on. Like, if I were just to get some 20 pounders, I wouldn't put on muscle. But if I push myself as hard as I can, I put on muscle. So that's one kind of person. Another kind of person is just born with really great genetics. Um, Even without working out, they'll have like almost as much muscle as, I mean, not almost as much as me, but like they'll have a lot more, they'll have like as much muscle as someone who's been working out for a while who's not in as good a shape as me. I mean, maybe there's someone out there who could just not work out and be in my kind of shape, but that'd be very rare. But there are people that just are born and their body just packs on muscle regardless of what they do. There are also people who are born and their body just really does not want to put on muscle. They can push themselves to lift weights. They can get some muscle, but they really can't ever put on a lot of muscle. It's just not meant for them. Now that's naturally. And the interesting thing is, when you toss steroids into the mix, I was acting like I was flipping a coin off my finger. But when you toss steroids into the mix, it actually like doesn't obey those principles at all. So that guy who, no matter how hard he works out, can only put on a little bit of muscle, it's possible that he takes steroids and he just gets huge. Now, it's also possible that he takes steroids and they don't do anything. Yeah, that's right. They don't always make you gain muscle. Like, they should make you gain at least a little bit of muscle in optimal, perfect world, but we don't live in an optimal, perfect world where everybody's the same. Some people could literally like have zero results from steroids. Now maybe they make 0.1 or 0.001% progress. I don't know what you'd even be measuring it against. But maybe their bench press goes up by 1 pound. Well, you gotta go also, well, would it have gone up by 1 pound if they hadn't used them because of natural progress? Maybe, maybe not, but let's say that 1 pound was because of the steroids. So yeah, maybe they do make a little bit of progress, but the point is, some people do not even react to steroids. Their body just, it gets androgens and it goes, oh, so what? It doesn't even know that it's supposed to grow. Now, I'm not gonna say I know exactly the molecular reasons why they don't grow. It would just be theory anyways, because I don't think it's been well looked into, but some people, it doesn't matter how, you could pump them full of trenbolone and human growth hormone, even that's not a steroid, but my point is, some people react to drugs differently. Some people, no matter how much, you could give them every drug on the whole planet that's supposed to make you grow muscle, and maybe it'll make them a little bit bigger. Then you get some people that they take just a little bit. Maybe they take 150 milligrams of testosterone or 30 milligrams of dianabol a day, and they get like they start really getting big. And like I said, that's independent of how they react naturally. So it doesn't matter. Like you could, so me, I'm in good shape. Now I could take steroids, and maybe I'd get huge, or maybe it wouldn't make any difference at all. Maybe I'd get a little bigger, maybe I'd get a lot bigger. But just because you begin in good shape and you're able to get in good shape naturally does not mean that steroids would make you in better shape. Now, it seems crazy. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you because it seems crazy, but it's true. It just depends on how your body reacts to steroids. It's kind of like some people can pound down 20 beers and walk a straight line, and other people can only have a few. Now, is it crazy to think that probably there's some of you out there who, if you were told there's some people that they can take all the steroids in the world and they wouldn't get big, you go, no, that's a lie. Or if some guy said, oh yeah, I took steroids and nothing happened, you go, oh, your steroids must have been fake. But if someone told you they pounded down 20 shots and didn't get that drunk, you go, oh, you have a big alcohol tolerance or something. I mean, maybe you wouldn't believe them, but people react to drugs differently. That's just how humans are. We're not all the same. The things in our body that the drugs bind to, the receptors, they can be different, like a little bit different in everybody. Then you have the enzymes that degrade the drugs, those can be different in everybody. I mean, there's all sorts of different things that maybe they're only a little bit different, but every single thing that interacts in, like all the important things that would contribute to how the drug works in your body, maybe they're all a little bit different. Or maybe they're all a lot different, or maybe one of them is a lot different and two of them are a little different. And so yeah, everybody is different. We all react to drugs differently. Yeah, I know people that take steroids and are not in... I only know one person who takes steroids and is in better shape than me. Yep, pretty crazy. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that, so, the sad truth is, like, I'm in good shape and I'm gonna see how lean I can cut down to, but okay, so in the world we live in today, you're kind of being judged against everybody in the entire planet because of the internet. So if you're trying to be a fitness Instagram person, people aren't just comparing you to the people in your city, the people in your state, the people in your country. You're being compared to everybody. And that means that to really stand out, you have to be in the top, like, 0.01% or 0.001%. I mean, not even the top 1%, not even the top 0.1%. Like, you take 7 billion people, I mean, not all 7 billion are trying to be fitness models, but you get my point. There's a lot of people in the world, and when you're competing against all of them, you have to be that much better. And there is, I mean, some people can get in really good shape naturally, but in my opinion at least, what makes or break the deal of you being a big fitness person is how well you respond to steroids. Because say you're me, and I'm in this shape. Yeah, pretty good shape. But I'm not that top 0.01%. But if I were a good responder to steroids, yes, I could definitely get to that 0.01%. But who knows, maybe I take steroids and they don't do anything. Well, guess what? I can work as hard as I want my whole life, get in great shape, but I'll always be below the people who respond well to steroids. Because if you respond well to steroids, you can get in much better shape than someone can get in naturally. Now remember, most people who take steroids are not in that great a shape, but if you respond well to them, you can get in incredible shape. But it's kind of like that with being natural too. If you respond well to working out, or working out hard in my case, you can be in really good shape. It's just that, at least in my opinion, I think that it's the people who respond well to steroids that really rise to that top level. Because say this is how high is the maximum, I mean there is no, you can't say a maximum level. So you see this line that my ceiling, the wall and the ceiling creates. So that's the level that we're gonna say you can get to naturally. Now you can't really make a line because everybody's different once again, so there's no like line. But if there was, so you can like, oh, you're here, he's here, like maybe you get all the way up to here, or you even get all the way up to that line, and he's down here. But now you can't go any further. But if this guy responds well to steroids, it just blows you out of the water. So there could be all the top people all hovering around this line, and then they all take steroids, and only half of them, or it probably would be less than half of them, I don't know, 10, 20, 30% of them would get way bigger, while the rest would maybe get a little bit bigger. I hope that makes sense, because you can get in really great shape naturally. But what's going to take you to that next level is if you're lucky and you're a good responder to steroids. Because if you are, you can get way bigger than you can naturally, and you can get leaner. If you're wondering why I put my hands here, it's because here's a good trick. Like if you want to look better in a picture and you want your abs to look better, so like I'm flexing my abs, but what happens is if you pull the bottom part of your stomach, the fat, you pull it down and it makes your abs show better because you're like pulling the fat down away from them. So like if you want to take a mirror selfie, like be towards the mirror, go like this, but have your hand here and just pull down a bit and act like you're doing something else with your hand. Maybe you're pretending you're putting it in your pants to give the girl a nice surprise. But yeah, nice tip of the day. Oh, and while I'm on that topic, even though I'm done with the main part of the video, some more tips. If you want your upper body to look bigger, you don't want to be leaning away from the camera. You want to be leaning towards the camera. If you want your arms to look bigger, you don't want to hold them back here. You want to hold them out here in front of you. Now let's see if I can exaggerate that a bit. So look at it here versus here. And now imagine if I were like to go like, I mean, maybe if you're like me, you don't fall for those tricks, but a lot of people, they'll fall for, I mean, it still makes you look bigger. Just if you know that that's what's happening, you can be wiser than it. So it's like my phone right now, it's tilted, because I'm setting it down against my water glass. So it's like tilted back away from me, which means that the upper body is further. I mean, even if it... So that's interesting because the end result is still that the upper body looks smaller than if it were tilted forward, but because it's tilted, actually there's a less... So no, it's not less. It's a straight line, but it's still more distance. So yeah, don't worry about that. Because it's tilted backwards. So like, my upper body's here, the phone, let's say the camera is the top of my finger. So let's say this is 10 units of distance. But if it leans back, you see it's getting further away, making this look smaller. See what differences you can make? So I hope you like this video, and I hope it helps you make good informed decisions, and I hope you check out my Instagram, natural_true_fitness. And my website is coming soon, and remember, you can hire me for coaching, diet advice, what to do in the gym,